All right, so let's continue our discussion on standard form. Now, this time, how can we change any form of the line? Let's say slope-intercept form or point-slope form. How can we change it to be in standard form? Now, remember, when we talk about standard form, we have to follow the pattern wherein you have a number attached to x, and then you have a number attached to your y. They are together on one side, and then you have your constant on the other side. So what we need is to have x and y together, okay? So in this case, we have y equals negative 3x plus 5, and it has to be written in standard form, okay? Now, if you're going to take a look, this is in slope, okay? Remember, this is our slope, and this is our intercept, okay? So what we need is to have this written in such a way that x and y will be together, okay? So you have some options here that we can do. You can already transfer your x to the other side, okay? How do we do that? Well, we simply have to add positive 3 over 7x, okay? So this will be gone. We also have to add positive 3 over 7x on the left side, okay? So now you will have 3 over 7x plus y is equal to 5. Now, Miss, x and y are already together. Yes, but it specifically said in the question that your coefficients need to be integers. So as you can see, we have a fraction coefficient with x. So how can we make it an integer? Well, if you are given a fraction like this, all we need to do is how can we get rid of that denominator divided by 7? So what we can do is we can multiply everything by that denominator, which is 7, okay? So we have to multiply everything by 7. So if you have on this side, I'm going to be working on it, okay? 3 over 7 times 7, which is the same as 7 over 1, okay? This will cancel out, and you will only be left with 3. Make sense? You don't have a denominator anymore. So 7, this denominator will get canceled. This will get canceled, and so you have 3x now, okay? That is when you multiply 37x. But you also have to multiply 7, so you got to remember, you have to multiply everything. It's one of the most common mistakes that is being done. They only multiply the first one, and then they forget to distribute 7 or this factor to all of the contents of this whole equation. So now we will have 7 times y, which is 7y. 7 will also need to be multiplied by 5, so you will have 35. And so this is now your standard form. Okay, so from slope-intercept form, we are able to change it to standard form. Okay, so remember, your goal is to get x and y to be on one side of the equation. All right, and it is important that your coefficients are always integers. So no decimals, no fractions as coefficient. Okay. So let's try this next example. So what we have here, if you're going to take a look, is in point-slope form, okay? So we have point-slope form, and we need to change it to standard form, okay? Standard form. So first thing, as you can see, we have several numbers included here. So what we can do is simplify the expression first. We only need to have one constant, okay? If you're going to take a look, you have a constant of -2 here, you have a constant of 6 here. So first step, so step number 1, simplify, okay? Most likely than not, when you simplify point-slope form, it will be, so point-slope form, it will change to slope-intercept form, okay? So what we will have here is going to be y minus 2 is equal to, this gets distributed, okay, negative 1/3 x, and then you will have, so negative 1/3 times 6 over 1, okay, what will you get? This will cancel out. This is 2, so that's a negative 2, okay? And then so you will have a minus 2, okay? You want to combine all terms together. So you can add the 2 here and you can add the 2 over here, all right? Unfortunately, they get canceled both. So now you have y is equal to negative 1 over 3x. Remember, for standard form, it has to be ax plus by is equal to c. X and y will be together on one side. So we simply transfer this to the other side. So we will have plus 1/3 x. You will have a plus 1/3 x, okay? So your equation now is 1 over 3x plus y is equal to, do you have anything left on your right side? Nothing more. So that's going to be a 0. Are we done with this? Remember, coefficients will always be integers. So we need to multiply this whole thing by the denominator, which is 3, okay? So we multiply 3 on all of this, including 0. So you will have, so if I will have it here on the side, 1/3 times 3 over 1, you will see that it will cancel out. It's gonna be 1. So you will have x plus 3y, okay, 3 times y, equals 3 times 0, which is just the same as 0, okay? So this is now our equation. This equation, x plus 3y equals 0, is just the same as this line. They are exactly the same line. They are just written in different ways. Pretty much like when you have your name, okay? Sometimes you use your first name and then last name, right? It's how you can be identified. There are times it has to be last name first and then your first name, okay? So pretty much the same idea. It's talking about the same line. It's just written in different methods, okay? So let's have an application of this. All right. So as you can see from this problem, a download store sells songs for $1 each, and then movies for $12 each. And you are allowed to spend 60, okay? So what we need is to write an equation, and if we can graph that equation so that we can describe the purchase, okay? So what are 3 combinations of numbers or number of songs and movies that you can purchase? So you can come up with 3 possible ways in such a way that you add your songs and your movies together and all you can spend is $60, okay? So we are given 2 different items that we can buy. We can represent our songs as X, okay? And we can represent our movies as Y. Now remember, if we add X and Y, all of our purchases, we will have something to be equal to 60. Okay, so we know that we will have something that is equal to 60. How many songs can you buy? We do not know, but we know that the price is $1 each. So it's going to be $1 times the number of songs. So that's just going to be 1x. Okay, but we can just write it as x. Okay, we have to add how many movies can we buy? We do not know, but we are having to pay $12 each for the movies. So we will have something that is 12y. Okay, so this is going to be our equation. All right, so this is already our equation. What could be different combinations of numbers and songs that we can purchase? Okay, so in this case we can have let's check, can we solve using our intercepts? By the looks of it, okay, 60 could be divided by 1. 60 could also be divided by 12, all right? So that's already 2 combinations that we can do, okay? So if we have the x-intercept, we will have x plus 12 times 0, which is equal to 60. So x is equal to 60, okay? If we're using your y-intercept, we can have, how'd you call this? x is equal to 0, so it's going to be 12 times y, which is 60. You divide by 12, your y is equal to 5. Okay, so you already have two combinations there. Okay, what does that mean? You can have 60 songs. This means 60 songs and 0 movies. Okay, you already have 0 songs and then 5 movies. Now, what could be another way? Okay, so what you can do is you can graph it. Okay, we can also graph that. So we have 60 songs is gonna be over here, and then you have 5 movies is gonna be over here. Okay, so you will notice that you can create a straight line here, but unfortunately I will not be able to get that whole line together properly. But what you will notice is that every time, okay, what if you only have one song? Okay, what if you create you just buy one song? How many movies can you if you get one movie, how many songs can you buy? Things like that. So that's another option that you can do. Okay, so if you have only one movie, so if you have, so let's say so I'm gonna be writing it here. Okay, so x plus 12y equals 60. If your movie is just one, so if you have to replace it by x, 12 times 1 equals 60, x will give us to be, so minus 12 minus 12, x will be 48. So you will notice that if I can remove this line here, hold on. All right, so remember, if you have 5 movies, you can either buy 5 movies all in all, no songs. You can buy all 60 songs, no movies. If you get only one movie, how much? One movie is already 12. So you can get 48 songs since it's $1 each. Okay, if you have 2 movies, you can get 36 songs. You have 3 movies, you can have 24 songs, and then if you have 4 movies, you can get 12 songs. So pretty much that's going to be a straight line going that way. So those are your 3 possible combinations of movies and songs that you can purchase. Okay, so similarly, you can try this next example on your own, pretty much just like our previous example. Go ahead. Okay, so we will have an equation that will look like this: 12x plus 15y equals 120. You can use your intercepts as your points. Now, if you need a third possible way, you can try and put in a value of 5. That's our middle value for x, okay? If x is equal to 5, then the corresponding, if you have 5 t-shirts that you bought, you can get up to 4 sweatshirts for that. So those are your 3 possible combinations, okay? And so to summarize, we have 3 ways on how you can write your linear equation. You can use the slope-intercept form, point-slope form, standard form. All of them is pertaining to the similar line. They are just written in different ways and also depending on what given information they have, okay? So one form of linear equation, standard form, allows you to find intercepts quickly, and you can easily use those intercepts to draw or graph your line. Thank you.